Good morning, students. Once again, this is Nitin Jain, your accountancy teacher now. Today, we will study in company accounts class 12th the company balance sheet. So, first of all, we should know what is the basic difference in between the balance sheet of a partnership firm and balance sheet of a company. So, basically, difference is partnership balance sheet we frame in the horizontal format, means liabilities amount, assets amount. So we go through like this: liability amount, assets amount. But when we prepare company's balance sheet as per Companies Act 2013, we need to follow the company's balance sheet format in the vertical format. So in this trend, we have the liabilities first of all, and then we have amount details, and then after completion of liabilities in full, we go through just in the reverse downward direction, we go through with the assets block. So basic difference in partnership, we draw the liabilities amount parallel assets amount, while in this format in company balance sheet, we draw the information like liabilities, and on the degraded block we draw assets. So we have a format in the sequence. This time, students, we are studying company balance sheet and we are studying vertical format. So one important thing that you need to learn, as per Companies Act 2013, this balance sheet is prepared under Schedule 3. Schedule 3. Part 1. So this format exists in the company's balance sheet, Schedule 3, Part 1. So this we need to prepare. Now, what is the format of this statement? It's very easy. This is particulars, then we have the note number, then we have the amount of current year, and then we have the amount of previous year. So in this way, you may compare that what is the figure in the previous year for the same thing and what is the figure of current year for the same thing. So it will be comfortable to for a general viewer, that he will be able to know that what is the difference in between the two successive years. Previous year की पोजीशन क्या थी, current year की पोजीशन सामने आ रही. अब यहाँ this time we have details like note number. So what this note number exists, we need to learn. Suppose there is a company having business in different dimensions, and this is a group of companies and they are preparing a consolidated balance sheet. So in this way, they have extreme large number of items. Suppose there is a one company in the name of Tata Chemicals. So they have more than 200 plants in all over the India, and in each and every plant worth in crores and more than it. So several times it becomes very difficult to know that what is the individual assets the company particular plant deserves. But this time we are preparing the consolidated details of the company Tata Chemical and what is the overall amount. So definitely amount will be huge. So at that time, what we do, that we record the information just for example for assets block, like that how many asset machineries or how many fixed assets they have. So the total of assets of all the 200 plants they have. So this amount will be written in the long term assets or in terms of non-current assets, and one single figure for the complete detail will be quoted therein. So this is the one information and this is the one figure. Okay. Now, if someone is interested to know, to get the details that what amount of assets and what kind of assets they have, what amount of depreciation they are charging, what block of assets particular assets belongs to, so this we have detail in note number. Note number means just like an index. Note number means if you go to the specific assets or liabilities detail. So for the purpose of detailed explanation, you need to search that note number. Just like an example, they were of asking share capital. Suppose this share capital information and the company having worth of share capital, suppose 200 crores. So for the purpose of share capital, we will write here 200 crores. But if someone wants to know that what is the amount of equity share capital, what is the amount of preference share capital, how much is the authorized capital, how much is subscribed, called up, paid up, different details are there. So for the same purpose, for the detailed explanation, we have note number. Note number like note number 16. So note number 16 is presented in the company's balance sheet on the page number 30 to page number 35. So if any of the person is interested to go through the detailed explanation of the particular assets, they may consider the concerned page numbers. So this is the format that the company balance sheet is we are processing. First of all, for the purpose of this balance sheet, first information we have equity and liability. So in the format of the company that we draw, suppose we draw balance sheet in the name of partnership. So at that time we have the detail for liabilities, amount, assets and amount. So what the purpose? Liabilities, the block heading over there, the same heading is there, the liabilities and equities and the liabilities. Equities, owners fund, proprietors fund, what amount of the investment by the owners of the company, this is the equity. And liabilities means the external. So whatever amount is payable, it is the liabilities and equity, it is the detailed first information. Then this information is categorized in 4 parts. First of all, shareholders fund, and next is share application money received pending allotment. Next 2 blocks further we have, it is a non-current liabilities and then current liabilities. So we have details in 4 blocks, but today in this class we will study only 2 concepts. For the liabilities block, this is shareholders fund, and next we need to learn share application money received pending allotment. So what these originally means to a person or a company or a shareholder or an investor, we need to learn to in detail. First of all, if you want to know the shareholders fund, व्यापार में, कंपनी में उनके शेयर होल्डर्स का कितना नेट वर्थ है, कितना पैसा उनका बिजनेस में लगा है, उसका डिटेल यहां पर आ रहा है. So first of all, we have information for share capital. It's a combined information for equity as well as the preference shares. So what amount of equity share is there, what amount of preference share is there, the complete detailed analysis is given in the name of share capital, and amount to be written for current year in this block, and what was the amount in previous year we have detailed in next block. This is the amount of share capital value. Reserves and surplus. So journal reserve, capital reserve, workman compensation reserve, so many reserves the company have. So what amount of overall reserves exist in the company in the current year, this to be written in this block, this is reserves. Third most important thing, money received against share warrants. Several times the companies are not issue the share, by instead of issuing of share, they issue share warrants and they receive the money from the prospective investors. So this is again the shareholders fund, and it is a part of share capital. It is not share, but it is deemed to be share. ऐसा मान लिया जाता है कि ये भी shareholder है, but originally technically it is not the share, but it is counted in the net worth. So that's why we need to consider the shareholders fund. So what amount we receive from shareholders fund or what amount we receive from against share warrants, this to be written in third block. So ultimately this block exists for the shareholders, the owners of the company, and this is called shareholders fund, and it possesses 3 of the items. Number 1, share capital. Number 2, reserve and surplus. Number 3, money received against share warrants. So these 3 figures to be written over there. Then we need to find the next information. This is share application money received. Share application money received pending allotment. In previous lectures, we had already learned one important concept when we learned issue of shares. At that time, we learned that companies makes the IPO. IPO means initial public offer. Companies are offering their shares to the members. Those are interested to buy of these shares. So at that time, when the company feels that they are in need of money, so at that time the company just make the IPOs and collect the money. So at that time what happened, at IPOs call details, generally the company asks in installments, application, allotment, first call, final call. It is a practice, second and final call. So this time, as per Company Act, in between 2 of the successive calls, दो कोई सी भी लगातार वाली calls हैं, like application and allotment and first call and second call, any of the 2 successive calls, as per Company Act, there should be a minimum time gap of 1 month. अगर कंपनी अपनी कोई सी भी 2 लगातार कॉल्स का शेयर का पैसा आईपीओज में मांग रही है, तो कंपनी को उस आईपीओ के अगेंस्ट जो कॉल की डिटेल ऑफर करनी है इन्वेस्टर्स को, उसमें कम से कम 2 लगातार कॉल्स के बीच में 1 मंथ का गैप होना जरूरी है, 1 थिंग। सेकेंड, एज पर कंपनी एक्ट 2013, whatever the amount the prospective investor would invest in your company to purchase the share means share application money applied for। पर्सन ने आपकी कंपनी को पैसे दिए और इसलिए दिए कि आपकी कंपनी उसको शेयर दे देगी, लेकिन whatever amount you paid to the company would deposited amount, the money would be deposited in the bank account, and in bank there is a one special account to be opened for the same purpose. It is called escrow account, ESCROW। ये एक स्पेसिफिक अकाउंट होता है जो कंपनी के लिए खोला जाता है, कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार की अप्रूवल से खुलता है, और ये केवल उन कंपनीज को कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार से अप्रूवल मिलता है जो कंपनी अपने आईपीओस निकालने जा रही होती हैं। तो एप्लीकेशन के अगेंस्ट जो पैसे कंपनी के पास आएंगे वो पैसे पहले नंबर पे सीधे तौर पे कंपनी के करेंट अकाउंट में और सेविंग अकाउंट में नहीं आते, वो पैसे एस्क्रो अकाउंट में आ जाते हैं, कंपनी के एस्क्रो अकाउंट में। लेकिन इसके बाद भी कंपनी इन पैसों को तब तक निकाल करके यूज नहीं कर सकती जब तक कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार को यह कंफर्म न कर दे कि भैया हमारे पास में इतनी एप्लीकेशन आई थी, हमने आईपीओ निकाला 25,000 शेयर का, हमने ओपन ऑफर किया कि 25,000 लोगों को शेयर बेचेंगे, 25,000, बट वी रिसीव द टोटल एप्लीकेशंस 35,000। So company make an IPO of 25,000 while they receive the application 35,000. So whatever the total application money that they receive to be deposited in the escrow account, but this money would not be released for the purpose of the use of the company till the company would not specify that what amount of shareholdings they prescribe to whom, they confirm to whom. If the company allot the share to the specific shareholder, then it's very good. If the company allot the share in the pro rata basis, again it is very good. But in case the company is not providing any of the share to any of the investor, while the investor applied for the company, at that time we need to confirm that we are not allotting any of the single share to this particular one. At that time, as per escrow account, you need to return the amount of the particular investor hand to hand. I just repeat the same content in the Hindi so that all the viewers may be easily understood. कंपनी में कोई भी पैसा जो कंपनी के पास आता है, कंपनी ने पब्लिक ऑफर निकाला है कि हमारी शेयर खरीदो, तो लोगों ने शेयर खरीदने के लिए अप्लाई कर दिया, पैसे कंपनी के पास भेज दिए, एप्लीकेशन का मनी भेजा। अब उस एप्लीकेशन वाली जो मनी कंपनी के पास पहुंच जाएगी वो कंपनी के करेंट अकाउंट, कंपनी के सेविंग अकाउंट में नहीं रहेगी, बल्कि वो पैसे कंपनी में एक स्पेशल अकाउंट खोला जाएगा, कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार की अप्रूवल से बैंक में खोला जाएगा और उसका नाम होगा एस्क्रो अकाउंट। उसमें पैसा वो वाला पहुंचेगा जो कंपनी के एप्लीकेशन के समय कंपनी के पास इन्वेस्टर्स अपना पैसा डिपॉजिट करते हैं, तो वो कंपनी के इस अकाउंट में डिपॉजिट हो जाता है, पैसा पहुंचता है लेकिन लॉक हो जाता है, पैसा निकलता नहीं है। तो अब ये पैसा कंपनी को मिलेगा कैसे? कंपनी ने तो फाइनेंसिंग करनी है, फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट करना है। इसके पर्पज से कंपनी को एक अप्रूवल, एक स्टेटमेंट बना के भेजना पड़ेगा कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार के पास कि सर हमारा आईपीओ 25,000 शेयर्स का था, हमारे पास एप्लीकेशन जो आ गई है वो 35,000 एप्लीकेशन आ गई हैं, तो हमने क्या काम किया कि 5,000 को तो रिजेक्ट कर दिया कि भैया तुमको तो कुछ शेयर देंगे नहीं। अब रह गए हमारे पास 30,000 शेयर होल्डर, 30,000, और इन लोगों को हम शेयर अलॉट करने वाले हैं 25,000, तो प्रो रेटा बेसिस अलॉटमेंट हो गया। तो कौन से पर्सन को कितने शेयर मिलेंगे? द पर्सन दोज आर अप्लाइड फॉर 6 शेयर्स, वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग देम 5 शेयर्स। सो इन दिस वे वी हैव द स्पेसिफाई द प्लान दैट दिस इज द प्लानिंग एंड इट इज द अमाउंट वी आर जस्ट सजेस्टिंग टू द कंपनी। कंपनी रजिस्ट्रार इस प्लान को अप्रूव कर देंगे तो हम ये शेयर मार्केट में इशू कर देंगे, और जब वो प्लान अप्रूव हो जाएगा शेयर के अलॉटमेंट का, तब कंपनी की परमिशन में एस्क्रो अकाउंट से पैसा कंपनी को मिलेगा। अब हुआ क्या कि कंपनी ने शेयर को अप्लाई कर दिया, यानी आईपीओ आ गया। अब इस बीच में डेट आ गई कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट बनाने की, और उस बैलेंस शीट की डेट आ जाने के बीच में कंपनी के पास एप्लीकेशन तो आ गई और पैसा एस्क्रो अकाउंट में आ गया, लेकिन कंपनी की तरफ से आज तक की डेट में ऐसा बैलेंस शीट बनाने की डेट तक में ऐसा स्पेसिफाई नहीं हो पाया कि हम कौन से इन्वेस्टर्स को कितना कितना पैसा कितना कितना शेयर अलॉट कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कोई कंफर्मेशन नहीं हुआ। तो ये पैसा तब तक पड़ा रहेगा एस्क्रो अकाउंट में, रिलीज ही नहीं होगा वहां से, तब तक उस पैसे को कहेंगे शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी रिसीव्ड पेंडिंग अलॉटमेंट। तो ये पैसा तब तक इस अकाउंट के अंदर पड़ा रहेगा, ये पैसा इसमें से निकलेगा नहीं, और ये पैसा जब तक अप्रूवल वहां से नहीं आएगा रजिस्ट्रार से, तब तक ये मनी एज इट इज बनी रहेगी। तो स्टूडेंट्स, दिस टाइम वी लर्न दिस द सेम कॉन्सेप्ट इन द कंपनी अकाउंट्स, एंड वी जस्ट टेक, इनिशियली आई सेड दैट वी विल स्टडी ओनली दिस कंटेंट, बट आई थिंक दैट you are learning well, so we should continue this topic and we will learn go ahead. So this time we have the next third detail, and this is concerned with non current liabilities. If the company is paying any of the specific debt or the loan amount after the time duration of operating cycle, please remember my words, operating cycle. If the company need to pay the money after operating cycle duration, then it is considered as non-current liabilities. But if the company need to pay the amount within the operating cycle details, then it is called current liabilities. So this time we are studying non-current liabilities, the heading number 3. This heading is further categorized in 4 parts. So what are these 4 parts we need to learn? So this time we have the detail for non-current liabilities. In non-current liabilities, first heading we have long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings, ऐसा पैसा जो कंपनी ने लंबे समय के लिए लोन के तौर पर लेके रखा है। नंबर सेकेंड, डेफर्ड टैक्स लाइबिलिटीज बट इन द नेट फिगर. प्लीज पे अटेंशन, डेफर्ड टैक्स लाइबिलिटी बट इन नेट फिगर. इन C category we have further details. It is other long term liabilities, other long term liabilities, and fourth, the D point, it is a long term provisions. As you can see that all these details are concerned with long time duration, that's why we are considering the same focus in the name of long term provisions. So students, this time we have detail for non-current liabilities, means the company need to pay the amount after a long duration, means after the operating cycle duration. But in case, in question, suppose operating cycle duration is not mentioned, so at that time automatically by default you will consider the payment to be made after 1 year. But in case the operating cycle detail is given, then long-term liability means, non-current liability means it is the time duration after operating cycle. So this is the specification. We have the 4 details under this category. 4 details are long term borrowings. कंपनी ने फाइनेंस अरेंज किया, दूसरे लोगों से लॉन्ग टर्म का लोन अरेंज कर लिया, बोरोइंग अरेंज कर ली, पैसा बोरो कर लिया, तो दिस इज लॉन्ग टर्म बोरोइंग. द पेमेंट टू बी पेएबल after a long distance, not in the current duration. This is a long term borrowing. Second, we have deferred tax liability, net. What is this? Company need to pay to the government the amount of tax as per applicable. At current, the corporate tax rate is 30%. So company need to pay according to, and it is a rules to the company that whatever the amount of tax, it should be deposited in advance to the company. So company almost feels in confusion that what actual amount we need to pay. So several times the company frame an idea that during the time duration of 1 year, let's say this is the time duration of 1 year, and company having the expected sale target in this duration, suppose 120 crores, this is the overall amount that should be chased by the company during this working. It should be the 120 crores, I just assume the figure, and this to be divided in 12 months equally. So 10 crores rupees sale for the 1 month is the target amount, and according to this, suppose the tax amount burden create onto the company's profit part, suppose this is rupees 20 lakhs for the year, I just taken complete figures because we need to calculate so many things, whatever amount of expenses, whatever amount of long-term expenses, what amount of installments of interest are there need to be paying. So I just providing rough figures. So this time the company having the total sales target of 120 crores, and it is expected that 10 crores rupees sale per month for the month, and at that time whatever the amount of profit the company will generate, according to this they need to pay 20 lakh rupees per month tax. So it is the amount of 20 lakh rupees per month tax they are depositing by subsequent months, and by the end of the year they came in notice by the practice of 20 lakh rupees tax amount for the month. So by the end of the year they had deposited 2 crores 40 lakh rupees tax. Now by the end of the year 31st of March they will came in notice that what exactly sales are being held at, because that was a target, and what exactly that they achieved, that they could score. So this is the final figure. Now they came in notice that actual figure goes to 125 crores, or that may be 110 crores, that may be. So what actual amount of tax burden exists on their company, they need to finalize. Now they came in notice that we had already deposited the tax amount 2 crores 40 lakhs, and the actual burden on ourselves is created 2 crores 30 lakhs. In that way, we had already deposited in advance 10 lakh rupees tax, so it will be put it in the deferred tax assets net value in the assets block. But if by the end of the year company came in notice that we need to pay 2 crores 60 lakh rupees tax, and this till extent we had deposited 2 crores 40 lakh rupees tax, so 20 lakh rupees is the amount of variation that we need to pay now. So this time the liability exists on the company's shoulder, so this is called deferred tax liability net. This is the net amount that need to be payable by the company's hand to the company. So that's why it's a long-term liability, non-current liability. So deferred tax liability net. Net means what is the actual amount of tax need to be paid by the company, and what they had actually paid, ex ante, ex post. This time other long-term liabilities. So if they had taken loan from other outside resources, what is the other long-term liabilities and which we need to pay? This is long-term provisions. So these all are concerned with the same category, and this complete amount need to be rated in detail. So this is currently called non-current liabilities. Now the last item in the company's block we need to complete this also. So this is the fourth segment. This is called current liabilities. First of all is the non-current liability, and this time it's a current liability. Now it is very easy to learn this concept again, because we have the same practice as we learn in the non-current liability. So what originally is, first of all we have long-term borrowings in terms of non-current liability, and now in the current liability we have fourth segment A part. Here is long-term borrowings, this time we have short-term borrowings, थोड़े समय के लिए जो पैसा लेके रखा है. बी पार्ट ट्रेड creditors, what amount that we need to pay, trade creditors or trade payables. C part that we need to write, this is other long-term liabilities, so this is other short-term liabilities. And last, this is long-term provision, so we have the last number detail, other short-term provisions. So if you know about non-current liabilities, then it is very easy to learn that what is short-term borrowings or short-term liabilities. So in this way we had completed this format of company's balance sheet in the liabilities block only. I just provide you one short recap, and in that way you will be able to know that what we learned today. Students, this time we are just going ahead, and we had started in the company accounts the part C, the C book. This belongs to the company's accounts, and we learned that this is the company balance sheet. It's the first and important format, and this is vertical format because first of all we have detail for liabilities and then we have the detail for assets, while in the horizontal format we have liabilities amount, assets amount. This time we are preparing the same statement in the list of schedule 3 part 1. This time we have format, this is particulars, this is note number. You need to write note number over here, but it is originally work like index page number or approx, but you can't say that it's page number and same thing. So note number is just an identification that if you need to go in detail, then you should go this page note number. Then this is amount for current year and this is amount for previous year. This company balance sheet liability block is further divided in 4 parts. So first block from the liability block is called equity and liability. Then first information we have shareholder fund. Shareholder fund is categorized in 3 parts. शेयर कैपिटल, व्यापार के मालिक लोगों का पैसा, शेयर कैपिटल. शेयर कैपिटल, रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस, मनी रिसीव्ड अगेंस्ट शेयर वारंट्स. नंबर 2, शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी रिसीव्ड पेंडिंग अलॉटमेंट, एस्क्रो अकाउंट, जो पैसा एस्क्रो अकाउंट में पड़ा हुआ है वो यहां आ जाता है. नंबर 3, नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटीज दैट विल बी डिसाइडेड. नंबर 1, as per operating cycle duration, that this amount is a long term or non-current liability and this amount is a short term, it is current liability. So first, the basis of specification of non-current and current on behalf of operating cycle, but in case operating cycle details are not mentioned, so at that time you will specify this detail as per the time duration. Is this more than 1 year or less than 1 year? So if it is more than 1 year, so it would be considered as non-current liabilities. This is in long-term liabilities or non-current liabilities exist in 4 parts. Number 1, long-term borrowings. चारों तरफ से लोन लेके रखा है, लंबे समय का लेके रखा है, तो अभी 1-2 साल में नहीं देना है, 1 साल में नहीं देना है, आगे देना है, तो इट इज long-term borrowings. Deferred tax liability I just indicated by example. जितना अमाउंट का टैक्स साल भर में अपनी मर्जी से पेमेंट कर दिया और जितना फाइनल कंक्लूजन निकल के आया जो टैक्स देना था, उन दोनों का जो गैप है, उन दोनों का जो मार्जिन है, उन दोनों का जो डिफरेंस है, उसका नाम है डेफर्ड टैक्स लाइबिलिटी. ये वो फाइनल अमाउंट है जो आपको पे कर देना है. अदर लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज, ये बाकी के पेमेंट है जो आपको पेमेंट करने होंगे. और नेक्स्ट है लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोविजंस. ये वो पैसे हैं जो प्रोविजन बेसिस पर आप पार्टीज को पे करने वाले, इसका प्रोविजन आपने बना के रखा है, लॉन्ग टर्म का प्रोविजन. तो अल्टीमेटली ये सारे के सारे अमाउंट नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटी. जिसको नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटी आ गई उसको करंट लाइबिलिटी अपने आप आ जाएगी. याद करने जैसा कुछ खास नहीं बचता, क्योंकि जो टर्म वहाँ है नॉन करेंट में लगभग कोई नाम नीचे वाले में, यानी कि शॉर्ट टर्म. तो यहाँ पर हुआ करंट लाइबिलिटीज. ये भी 4 पार्ट्स डिजर्व करता है. मैंने 3 लिखे, एक का स्पेस नहीं बचा है, आपको सुना दूंगा. तो यहाँ पर मैं कहते हैं नॉन करेंट लाइबिलिटीज. तो नंबर 1 है शॉर्ट टर्म बोरोइंग्स. यहाँ था लॉन्ग टर्म बोरोइंग्स, यहाँ है शॉर्ट टर्म बोरोइंग. लोगों से पैसा लिया है, छोटे समय का लिया, 1 साल के अंदर वाला या ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल के अंदर पे ऑफ हो जाने वाला. नंबर 2 है इसके अंदर डेफर्ड टैक्स लाइबिलिटी. इसकी जगह आता है ट्रेड पेबल्स, क्रेडिटर्स, बीपी. नेक्स्ट नंबर आता है इसके अंदर में अदर लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज. तो दिस इज अदर शॉर्ट टर्म लाइबिलिटीज एंड दिस लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोविजंस. सो देयर इज शॉर्ट टर्म प्रोविजंस. In this way, amount to be written for the current year in this block and amount for previous years, it will be written in second block. So in this way, by the totaling, we may be came in notice that what original amount of total liabilities the company have. Students, in next lecture we will further study what is the details of company balance sheet, and it is again very easy, and we had already covered deferred tax liability assets over there for the same purpose. So this time students, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel and please share this video to the maximum number of persons, because continuously we are observing majority of the parts, very number of large students are not having books. So please help them by sharing this video and provide the free content to them, and it is already explained to them, so it will be comfortable too. So students, this way it will be a great help from your side that you are transferring your unknowingness, unwillingness, even you are transferring and sharing the information. So definitely it will be helpful to someone else. So if you can provide any kind of help or support to someone, then it will be great help to the society by you. So thanks students for joining this class. Subscribe this, use this and continuously watch this. Go remember, and the most important thing in this part C content, company's account, third part, यानी कि जो आपका बुक्स है अकाउंटेंसी, सारे के सारे आगे के चैप्टर्स इस कंपनी बैलेंस शीट पर बेस होकर चलने वाले हैं. भले ही से वो कंपेरेटिव स्टेटमेंट है, भले ही से वो कॉमन साइज है, भले ही वो कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट खुद से है, या इसके अलावा कैश फ्लो है या रेशो है, सब कुछ इसी कंटेंट पर बेस है. सो प्लीज गो थ्रू दिस कंटेंट वेरी केयरफुली. थैंक यू स्टूडेंट्स फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो.